speak to you as the acting figurehead of Decolonized Waka, as a fellow human being. I look out into this crowd and I see other human beings all gathered here for one common interest: to keep coal out of our communities. Recently I've been asking myself, why do we keep showing up over this coal issue? The question also leads me to ask, what is this word community? What do I mean by that? From my perspective and understanding, a community is a body of people who share certain values and beliefs. If I look to my academic background, I find that this is commonly the anthropological definition of culture. So let's talk about that. Why are we all here? Could it be we're here to express our common values? Are we a community? Could we be cultivating a no-coal culture? There's a saying that comes and goes amongst the indigenous peoples of this continent. We do not inherit the world from our ancestors. We are borrowing the world from our children. To those of you who have children, or who wish to someday have children, the idyllic future is one where your grandchildren's grandchildren will have the opportunity to live with clean air, or drink from water untainted by toxic levels of mercury, right? In this community, I see a living spirit, a living sustainability that speaks to my own values, built from within the depths of my own self-discovery and the pursuit of my own cultural heritage. So why am I here? Coal, right? Let me take you back a step. I'm going to tell you a story from the Paiute Shoshone. So Wolf came to Coyote one day. He said, "Brother, I'm going over the water to the east to see Old Man. I want you to come with me." So Coyote said, "Okay, I'll go with you." They traveled as brothers across this continent. They got to the eastern shore. They built a canoe. They traveled across the great water to the land on the other side. While they were there, they had adventures. Shenanigans, if you will. Before they came home, Wolf told Coyote, "Old Man wants to talk to you. I'm going to go to the north. I have other things to do." So Coyote went to see Old Man. Old Man gave him a jar and said, "This jar is full of people. They are your people to care for, to watch over. Take them with you. Don't open the jar until you get home, Coyote." Coyote agreed. He took them home across the water, and on his way,
The people in the jar's fault.
on his way, he could hear sounds from the jar. Dancing, singing, happy people. And Coyote really likes a good dance. He loves a good song. He thought to himself, I'll bet they're eating food. I love good food. I really want to open this jar. And he did his best. He got to the eastern shore of this continent, a place we call Turtle Island. It's an old name. On the eastern shore of Turtle Island, Coyote decided to sleep before he made his way across the land, back home to the Great Basin. So Coyote took a rest before traveling home. He woke up in the morning, he could still hear the dancing and the singing. people in the jar would not stop. So his better nature got a hold of him, and he opened the jar, and all the people ran to the four corners of the continent. And he slammed the jar shut. He was shamed. He didn't listen to old men to take care of his people. He held the jar to his ear, and he could still hear two people inside. And they were fighting. No more singing, no more dancing in the jar. So he listened to that all the way home, the sound of his shame. He got to the Great Basin, and he let the people out of the jar, and they were still fighting. He kicked them apart. And he said, "You are Paiute, and you are Shoshone. You are my people. And while you are my people, you will learn to work together. When you stand in the face of opposition, together you are that much stronger." Woo! My ancestors told each other this story as a reminder of the strength of community and culture. The value of people coming together for the greater good of all peoples. If each of you were to look to your own history and heritage, you will likely find that this is a recurring theme amongst many peoples throughout the world. It is in that spirit that I believe we can preserve our common values without sacrificing our individual identities in the community of Whatcom County. So I look at the human beings gathered here, and I can see that our reasons for gathering to hear each other speak are as diverse as the cultures we came from. Yet we are brought together because of our common values. I say that if we remember that we can come together to stop coal, then we can stand together because of those common values. This is only the beginning.
Our next speaker is T. King from Oxford, Bellingham, and one of the big 12.
I'm not very good at this. This covers up all my missing teeth, but there you go.
Hi, T.
Hi. Hi, Rod. You know who's not here tonight? All of the people who grew up like me, waving at the caboose, romanticizing the train. There used to be a time when it used to be a really cool thing. We put a penny on the railroad track, and we'd watch the coal trains go by and didn't think anything about it. That was a long time ago. That was back when that was really all we had. We didn't know better. What do you do when you grow up as an adult when you know better? You make the change for what you need to do. You put away the childish things and do the right thing. There's no right thing about coal.
Right.
You cannot make it green. You will not. I got arrested for stopping coal trains. Before that, I had never even had a speeding ticket. I had walked their line and towed their line, and I never crossed it because you don't do that. Well, guess what? There comes a time in everybody's life they will do a metaphorical, they'll lie down on a railroad track or something. The people who are here are the ones who, if they don't fear getting arrested, I can't get arrested again. A lot of you can't. It's a hard thing. But a lot of you now are starting to realize this is how big it is. These corporations are coming in and saying, no, you don't have any say. Bullshit. I have found my home and I'm going to fight for it. If I have to get arrested again, I will. I'll lose my apartment, but I'm willing to do that. Because this is not acceptable. There are better ways. The government has them, they know it, but they don't know how to make money because it's free. We're having a solar fuel leakage. Oh no! We can take this back by just telling them, get out. It's our Bellingham. The coal does not even serve us. It will not come through here. Leave the coal in the hole. There is nothing good about coal. Nothing. You cannot tell me there's anything good about it except for maybe the 1% who might find it in their stocking. Then I might kind of giggle a little bit. But short of that, no. Thank you guys for taking the stand that I'm taking, because it's a hard fight. But we got to keep fighting it and telling those corporations, this is not your planet. Right. It belongs to the people. Let's get rid of the borders. Let's get rid of all of the... We're taking out the fuel that the mother planet needs to run on. No wonder we're so fucked. It needs coal, it needs oil, that's fuel. Let it run on it. Otherwise, we're going to just keep... I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. I am dedicated. I am in this fight for the long haul. And I appreciate each of you who are, and those who romanticize the caboose. Come on down. We want to tell you something. So thank you for helping me do what I'm doing. Fabulous equipment. We're going to have like Batman-like symbols downtown this evening on City Hall and the Dale. Come down for some Occupy stuff and some let's teach the people a lesson. Let's educate the people tonight.
Thank you, T. I think it's worth pointing out that just coming out here and protesting and wanting to have a vote, putting forward demands like green union jobs, our right to decide and stopping the coal terminal, it unfortunately won't be enough. We may need to escalate this struggle, something similar to the civil rights movement, to the women's liberation movement, to the environmental and anti-war movement in the 1960s and 70s. It unfortunately is necessary that we do take direct action, including civil disobedience, like blockading the railroad tracks like we did on December 12th. Albeit it may not happen today, but I would like to see it in the future again. So, our next speaker is Pam from CoalRally Bellingham.
Sorry, I have to read this. Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me now? No. Oh, I guess you have to push the button.
Push everybody's button.
I will. I'll try to push the button. So maybe this is kind of a summary. I've heard a lot of these sentiments already said, and I'll try to sum up. Closer, louder. Okay. Coal-free Bellingham, by attempting to put a people's initiative on the ballot that challenged corporate bullying, has opened up a broader conversation about democracy. The citizens of Bellingham now know that the structure of the law, even down to the local officials, is rigged in favor of profiteers, at the expense of many of our values that are deeper than the values of wealth and power, like health, nourishment, human kindness, innovation, creativity, environment, and life itself. Those godfathers of investment do not act with life-sustaining values. People who live their lives in communities where we value each other and the natural world that we're part of ought to be ensuring that our governance responds to our needs. In order for that to be, we have to participate. We have to think about the future that we want to bring about and put our hearts and minds and efforts towards making that world come about. We cannot afford to be like children, hoping that those with power to decide our lives will act in our best interest. Wealth and power do not bestow wisdom. Wisdom is acquired through experience, attention, and concern. Democracy can only be accomplished by a population that values these qualities. In the diversity of our numbers, those qualities exist in abundance. It's our task to access the best of what we are by finding allies and experts and visionaries to collaborate in imagining a government that serves our deep values and our actual needs. We need to come up with the courage and the commitment to create the ways we respond to the needs of the people, and we need to do it now. Let's work together. Let's use the tools we have to build lateral strength. Let's be a democracy.
Thank you, Pam. This mentioned to me, it's actually a really good idea. Now is an excellent time to ask for donations. For the Bellingham Club, we have a large amount of legal fees that are due to our awesome lawyers who are doing a really good job of, on our defense. So T here will be walking around with a hat. If you have anything to donate, it would be awesome. Thank you so much. I know we hope to hold more benefit concerts. We've already held 2 in the past. They're always really fun. If you get on email list for like the Occupy Bellingham, the Coal Free Bellingham, I know if you got on email list for Social Alternative, we would be able to inform you on what things are going on. September 18th. September 18th at the Wild Buffalo, we're having a benefit concert. Andy was telling me that literally right now. So if you're interested, please come down. If you can't make it, throw a donation in the hat, please. So yeah, our next speaker is Marion.
Hey, Marion!
Thank you very much. I'm Marion Badil, and I think this is the right thing. How are we now? Can you hear me now? Yes. I believe that 100 years ago, the land that is now called Hawaii was a lovely, wonderful place. If you agree with me, say aloha.
Aloha.
I believe that if you treat the land right, it will remain a lovely and beautiful place. If you agree with me, say aloha.
Aloha.
Those of you who have lived or studied Hawaii, kindly join me in this next phrase in their language that most of you know. Are you ready? Umau ke'eia oka'aina ikapono. Again. Umau ke'eia oka'aina
ikapono.
That handful of you who know the translation to English, join me this time. The life of the land is perpetuated by living right by it. Aloha!
Aloha.
I know that Marion just brought it up. Also, Tam was talking about the importance of culture. I think it's good to point out that not only are we losing our right to vote on things due to corporations trumping community rights. Indeed, we don't even get a vote on Prop 2. That was shot down. Also, City Council recently abandoned an advisory vote. So essentially we can't take a straw poll on whether or not we want coal trains running through our town. On top of that, for the past several centuries, since the inception of capitalism, we've seen not only our rights, but also our livelihood and our cultures being destroyed by big business, by massive, huge industrialization of all manners of society. I think it's important to note that it is in fact capitalism, that it is class-based society, keeping us stratified, keeping us separate from each other, keeping us hostile to other communities. And it's necessary to break those barriers in order to effectively fight our true enemy, which is big business and corporations. If you're interested in breaking these barriers between communities, if you're interested in getting more active and planning protests like this and effectively fighting corporations, big business interests that do trump environmental, corporate, and workers' rights, I would really advocate that you get active with Coal-Free Bellingham, with Social Alternative, with Decolonize Whatcom, with community groups that are actually pushing forward and fighting for these things. Like the Justice Party recently. It's one of the things, one tool that we can use for fighting corporations is fighting them on the same front that they do in the state. Through political elections, there is a trend on the left that we should boycott the elections, that we shouldn't have anything to do with average, everyday, popular politics, and that's not the case. One great way that we can stop the corporations and their interests and their representatives in the government is to replace them with people of our own. One great way to do that is to advocate for left-wing third parties, independent of corporate sponsorship.
Mike LaVoy for Congress!
Who's he? Who's he?
People like the Justice Party, like Jill Stein, who's running on the Green Party ticket. I know that Social Alternative, we're running a candidate for state representative in Seattle in the 43rd District, Shama Sawant.
Yay!
She's doing an excellent job. Just 2 days ago, there was a court hearing on whether or not we could get even our party preference on the ballot. And it was officially decided that we can, in fact. And the state secretary spending quite a bit of money on thwarting that effort, and still, we tore him down.
Yay!
So, our next speaker is Phil Damon from Coal-Free Bellingham.
Yay!
Where's Phil?
Where is Phil? Phil left. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, I didn't prepare anything.
Can you mention the Bellingham fundraiser again?
Yeah, again, I know I mentioned it before we marched, but there are several things afterward that we can do to bring the struggle forward, like coming to City Council meeting on Monday, September 10th at 7 p.m. to show the City Council that we do have massive community opposition to the coal terminal. Then also the B12 fundraiser on September 18th at the Wild Buffalo. It will be a great time, a great way to fundraise for people that are willing to take the necessary steps like mass direct action. And then also on September 20th, the B12 support rally outside the Bellingham Municipal Courthouse at 2 p.m. To show your support for really dedicated activists.
And just so you know, Jordan got arrested. Raise your hand if you got arrested for stopping the coal train.
Yay!
Jordan and
Let's go take a picture on the railroad tracks!
Right, so
Let's go take a picture on the tracks!
if you aren't busy after this, right now, immediately, it would be awesome if we could all go down to the railroad tracks where we were arrested on December 12th and take a picture with other people in your community showing support. So that way the organizations that help organize this can show that there is actually people out here in Bellingham, in Whatcom County, and even from places like Spokane, Mount Vernon, that are willing to come here and show opposition to corporate rights, trumpet community rights.
Yeah!
Woo!
Yay!
leave the coal in the hole.
Whoever wants to coal on train
job is to take and scream. We'll go home. How far is it? Do you remember? I understand that you want to.